What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I'm Jeremy Miller.
I'm Dallas Terrell.
And we are the Betterment Bros. All right, everybody. I hope you're having a great Friday. Dal and I are going to come at you guys with some fire this week. My throat's back.
Take a hiatus. I've lost my throat. It's been found.
And we're good to go.
I love that.
Are we just running with that or
Welcome
what?
back, everybody. It's Jeremy Miller. My throat's here, and so am I. That's awesome.
All right, fuck it, dude. Let's just keep running through. Here
Run
we
it,
go.
dude. Keep that
All
in
right.
there.
Dal, you want to check in first, man?
Yeah, dude.
Actually, hold that thought, Dal. Before we get to the check-in, I want to just remind everybody that we're running a little game with you guys through the end of September. Literally, I have all these Amazon devices. They're brand spanking new in the packaging, and I don't want them. Okay?
I don't want them either.
I'm just trying to get rid of them. Okay, so we got them for you guys as prizes, and we're trying really hard to give them away.
But
all you have to do is go to iTunes, write a review, screenshot it, email it to bettermentbros@gmail.com, and you get an Amazon Fire 7 tablet. All right? That's all you got to do.
How easy is that?
We announced it last week, and we've had one review on Facebook. And so right now, that person is guaranteed to win literally all of the prizes that we have offered.
Which is multiple.
Which is multiple prizes, guys. So if you write a review today, that means that you have a 100% chance of getting a prize if we stay at this rate until the end of the month.
Yeah.
Okay. So wherever you are, say you're driving, just make a mental note. Hey, you know what? When I get to where I'm going, I'm going to just pop open the app, take 5 seconds out of my day, and write these guys a review because I enjoy the show.
Shit.
And I get free shit.
Yeah.
Right. So I just wanted to remind everybody
Simple
of that.
task.
Yeah. So you screenshot your review, email it, bettermentbros@gmail.com, and literally we will give you free Amazon gear.
Yeah.
There it is.
That's it. Don't forget.
That's it.
Here
So
at
that being
Betterment Bros,
said,
we don't do ads. We actually just pay for shit to give you.
yeah, that is 100% true,
Betterment
man.
Bros are out here saving lives, losing money, dude.
That's right.
But we're fucking okay with that.
Yeah, and when you get that Fire 7 tablet, you get some books that we recommend on our resource page. You get, you go on Prime, you get the Prime app. All of a sudden, you're reading a book that you heard about from the Betterment Bros on your brand spanking new tablet that was gifted to you by the Betterment Bros.
That's pretty cool.
Everybody wins.
Everyone wins.
So that being said, Dal,
Check-in?
checking in, bro.
A little check-in for the week,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Dude, so I think the biggest takeaway from this week was I celebrated a birthday.
That's right.
Not a belly button birthday,
That's right.
but something even better.
Oh, yeah.
A sobriety birthday.
Boom.
Half a decade.
Damn.
5 years for old Dal.
Fuck, man.
No heroin, no crack, no Xanax, no alcohol,
Nothing, dude.
no weed.
Nothing but fucking positivity.
Nothing but fucking betterment.
That's it, dude.
And change.
Hell yeah.
And some hard work and some elbow grease.
That's right.
So I think that alone is my takeaway. Usually when those anniversaries come up, you tend to kind of reflect on, how you did it type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Or how far you've come,
Yep.
or how much has changed, all like those type of questions.
For sure.
It's kind of like one of those moments that you really stop and kind of analyze the growth and the different trajectory of your path and stuff like that. So I did a lot of that, kind of a lot of introspection on it. And it's just cool. You know? Also, what was cool about it was all the support that I got.
Yeah.
Right? I think all my parents, all four of them, shouted me out on Facebook. Got a text from my little brother, my stepbrother, my sister, like everybody, dude. All my closest friends. My girlfriend got me a balloon and a card and a pizza and some Reese's peanut butter cups. And
Damn.
it was just cool.
Yeah,
you
man.
know, like a lot of the clients that we work at too, at the rehab we work at, shouted me out, and it's good to know that it's possible.
Yep.
To change. It's possible to overcome. It's possible to be different and be better. And it's cool that me doing that helps people, and fuck, dude, sometimes I don't even believe it. It's kind of like, wow, dude, so much has changed and I wouldn't change it for the world. It's like better than a real birthday. because my birthday I was born, I got to live, but September 7th, 2014 is when I decided to start living again.
There it is, man.
You know, so I have a lot of respect for that date rather
Yeah.
than my real birthday.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
kind of like that's the day I fucking
Turned it all around,
bro.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
I love that, dude.
So that was my takeaway, dude, is celebrating half a decade of full abstinence and
Yeah.
being a better person and
Learning about life,
not killing myself.
and sharing that with others.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man.
So kind of an all-inclusive takeaway right there.
Sick takeaway, dude.
Thanks, bro.
I love that, man. I also loved your mom wrote a really cool post, man.
She did, dude.
She blew it out.
She blew it out.
Yeah, dude.
#1 fan, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, Lisa fucking, dude, that post, man, I was reading that post and the pictures and stuff, and I was like, damn, dude, that's just the best.
So cool.
It's the best, man.
Yeah, #1 fan, dude. She's always been in my corner, you know?
Absolutely, dude. Shout out Lisa, man. You're the best.
You're the best, Mom.
Yep.
We love you.
Yep.
What about you, dude? What's going on in your world?
Well, okay, let's see. Takeaway for the week, you know, a bounce back from the endoscopy.
From the missing throat.
Yeah, the missing throat, I lost it somewhere. I couldn't find. No, I'm just kidding. I bounced back and just got some good perspective on things. You know, because the news wasn't bad news. The news wasn't great news. The news was just news, and
Nice.
you know, I feel like you know. What shifted was, you know, I was hanging out with my buddy TJ Woodward,
Yeah.
who's an author that, if you guys are interested, check out our resource page. We got his stuff up there, but really incredible guy. And, you know, we were talking about impermanence and, you know, like health stuff and death. And, dude, we got out
You
there.
got deep topics
Yeah.
going on there.
Yeah, we got deep, man.
TJ's not a surface level dude.
No, he's not.
He is not.
But this guy, I mean, yeah, he's just amazing, right? But,
He is.
And he has the best perspectives on these things. And, you know, so we're talking about it, just kind of processing. And what was really cool is that, you know, he said like that journeys are completely undefined.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that holding on to, you know, wishing that something was permanent, right? I just wish it was like this all the time.
Right.
I wish like it's raining outside and you're like, God, I just wish it was a nice day.
Gateway to
Right.
suffering right
It
there.
is, man. It's the gateway to suffering because you can wish all you want and still nothing will change. And so what was cool is like bouncing back physically, but also like the mental side of it, processing with him. It was just like, yeah, man, like no matter what, everything is okay.
Right.
Right. Because the only thing that makes it not okay is how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so hard for me, like with health stuff,
Absolutely.
you know, and like
'Cause
trying
it
to
can easily be not okay.
Exactly. And to navigate that. And that's like, you know, like we talk about that a lot on the show. And I think it's important the audience knows that like, you know, like we are regarded as like two very positive dudes because we are.
Totally.
But that doesn't mean there's not downs. It's just that like I have to constantly work on keeping my mind state the way that I like to keep it, which is there's no such thing as a bad day. There's
Right.
no such thing as bad weather, right? Like that is work every day, dude.
Absolutely. You're not just like that.
Exactly.
You
Nobody
create
is.
that.
Yeah, exactly. We create it, and so
Kind of shedding light on how you do that. It's
exactly.
cool.
Yeah, and I
People need
think
that.
this takeaway was, you know, like given everything that happened, even given all that stuff, I was still able to, for the most part, maintain that demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, yeah, it's just practicing that like pays off, you know.
Absolutely.
And so my 2-minute takeaway was the payoff, dude.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you're all right, too. Shit.
Yeah. I mean, fuck. I mean, you know, my pancreas needs a little love, but you know what? I got a lot of love to give, so I'm
gonna
going to
work out.
redirect some. You know, some's going to the audience for writing reviews and stuff via like Amazon gifts.
Some's going to your pank.
And I'm sending some to the old pank, dude.
The whole pank bank.
Yeah, dude.
Mr. Panky, dude.
The pank bank, yeah, man. So that being said, Dal, let's jump into the funny situation of the
Shit.
week.
You want me to pitch it?
Yeah, pitch it, bro.
I'm going to pitch it, dude.
Yeah. Now, did this come to us from Lindsay?
This did, yeah.
Okay, so
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, this came from Lindsay Locke, friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
Yep.
Absolutely.
CrossFit coach,
CrossFitter.
fitness figure.
Fitness lens.
Fitness lens is what we call her, dude. Fit lens for short. You know, she's the shit. I do want to get her on the show one day.
Yeah,
and she wants
absolutely.
to, so we'll set it up.
Yeah,
Anyway.
there we go.
Yeah.
Handled. So basically, she emailed us like a bunch of topics. Like, hey, you guys need funny. You posted like, I need funny stuff. She was like, copy that, and just riddled us up with things.
Yeah.
My favorite one. Yeah. I don't know if it's because I have a lot of reality with it.
Sure.
Is I'm gonna paint the scene. You're pooping. You're at work. You got to poop.
Yep.
Go to the bathroom. You're pooping or peeing, whatever you're doing in there. You're doing it, kind of just doing your thing. Someone knocks on the door. Door's locked. You know the door's locked.
Sure,
Someone
sure.
knocks on it. What do you say?
Ooh.
Right? I know my experiences with that situation. I tend to just yell, yo!
Yeah.
Like, and someone knocks and I'm like, yo! Like, I'm shitting, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, what's up? Or sometimes I've even said, come in, knowing it's locked.
No kidding.
Yeah, dude, just make it interesting.
Yeah, I mean, spice up the day.
You're on the gram, you're scrolling the gram,
Sure.
you're handling business.
Sure.
Just depends on what you're doing, you know. But the idea is like, what do you guys say?
Right.
What's your go-to phrase? What do you say when you're pooping? What do you say when someone knocks or they're trying to come in, they start shaking the handle?
Oh, yeah.
Real quick, I know where I work, there's this little hallway to the baños, and you can hear people coming. And sometimes I'll just hear people coming, and I'm like, just clear my throat just to let them know someone's in there.
Yeah.
And I can avoid the situation
Yeah.
of being like, what's up? You know? 'Cause
Yeah.
what do you say?
Yeah.
You know, hold on, I'm in the middle of shitting.
Yeah.
Just give me 1 second. I'll wrap up, wash my hands, and I'll come outside.
Right.
What do you say, Jeremy?
Yeah.
When you're shitting.
My go-to, dude, is like, I get the
The knock.
and I just go, yep. I throw, yeah. Like it's like when you turn the corner, right, and you bump into someone, and you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
It's just like it's a sound. It's not even a word.
Yeah.
So I hear the knock, and I'm like, yep. Like I make it clear, but I also like, with Crohn's, Dal, I've got this game dialed in the bathroom number 2.
Totally.
I got the game dialed, dude.
This is your game.
And sometimes like the little hallway into the bathroom at work, I know what you're talking about, but at the office where I'm at, you have to go in with a key. So I always hear the keys, right?
Jingling, yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm always watching YouTube, dude.
Totally.
So I'll just turn it up full volume.
Just so they hear you.
So they're like, oh, that's Dave Chappelle. And I know he's not actually in the bathroom, so there's probably someone watching a video. Right, but either way, I'm not going to go there. But sometimes, dude, like if I'm like deep in the gram, right? Like I'm like reading like, I don't know, some movie stats or something, and I'm just so into it. And I'm not even going to the bathroom anymore.
At that point, I'm just getting paid to poop.
Yeah, I'm just sitting, dude,
Yeah.
But no, like sometimes I'll hear the key go in and they start unlocking, and I freeze, dude, and I don't say anything, right? And then they like open, and then it's awkward for both of us.
Yes.
Right? Because they know, they're like, oh God, dude, someone's in there pooping, right? And I know
that you're
that
pooping.
they know that I'm in there pooping, right? And so it's like this weird, and none of us say anything. Like no one's ever like, oh, sorry, dude. It's just like that walk of shame of like, oh fuck, I almost just walked in on that guy pooping.
Yeah, you don't know who it is.
Yeah, dude, and you have no. Well, and it's like, the other thing that doesn't make it any better, Dal, is that where our office is, the people next door, it's all women.
Oh man,
right, and so it's just like kind of a. It's
I
not
did
an
that
equality
type of thing
or anything like that, but it's like, like you leave the bathroom and you're like, damn, dude, I feel bad for like if they got to go in there, like
and
damn.
double down on
Yeah,
what
like,
you did.
I'm sorry, guys, like I didn't.
Yeah, dude, yeah, that's funny.
That's usually what I say.
I think another funny thing too that I have kind of had that experience, but of like walking out. We work at a rehab.
Yeah,
we do UAs all the time.
All the time.
Client's got a UA.
That's a urine analysis.
Urine analysis, if you're unfamiliar with this territory.
P-test.
But also, not only do we UA people, but people so not only is someone having to pee in a cup, but someone also has to go in there with them.
That's
so
true.
if you're shitting and you walk out,
Yeah.
you bomb 2 people. So now not only is someone in the bathroom trying to pee in front of another person,
Yeah.
but they're also both in there with what you did in there.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm a perspective guy, right?
Yeah, of course.
That doesn't have to suck. That could be really awesome. And it's always awesome for me to know that I did that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yes.
I have a
Got
feeling.
ya.
I have a feeling that even if the 2 people in there are Betterment Bros fans, I have a feeling that even then they struggle with shifting their perspective to think
Reframing
it's
this
awesome.
one.
Yeah. You know, like
So if
they're-
it's awkward enough taking a pee in front of another person, dude,
I know, but then they got to leave being like, "Damn it, Dallas."
God, it smells. And you see the person walk out.
Yeah.
You know it was me.
Yeah,
And you know I'm okay with it.
yeah. Oh, they know you're fine, dude.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, so I guess
It's
you
kind
know,
of funny.
I'd like to know what other people say.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
hit us up on the gram.
Yeah, we definitely talked to some people about what they say, and we've gotten some funny responses.
We have.
And I've also been the guy knocking,
Sure.
you know?
Yeah, what do
I've
you
heard
do?
phones drop.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Dude, I've heard like 1 sec. Pooping. Like, does anyone just yell pooping like what you're doing?
I don't know. I mean, maybe that's like where we need to get to.
Yeah.
You know, like
I'm very curious about what people say.
right, like maybe we need to, as a society, we get to like, oh yeah, I'm just pooping in here, you know, and it's like, all right, cool, dude, you know.
Yeah, right on. I'm just waiting for you to finish.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
Like,
cool,
let's
brother.
open up a dialogue.
Yeah.
You know, September of Service, guys. This is what
See-
we're talking
See how
about.
their day's going. See if they need help.
There it is. All right,
And
so
that's
DM
the
us.
funny. That's the funny situation problem of the week, and I fucking love it.
I love it too, dude. I want people to DM us and let us know, like, if you've got a funny response or a funny story.
Yes.
And while we're on that, guys, please don't forget about the Uber stories.
Yeah,
I know
come
y'all
on.
got Uber stories. Hit us, please.
we need to hear them.
Because when you don't, we talk about poop.
Yeah.
All right.
So
And
help us out, guys.
it's still funny, but
Yeah, but it could be different.
I'd like to hear some Uber stories.
Yeah, we talk about poop enough.
So, Dal, why don't we crack into the serious email, dude? You want to read it?
Yeah, let
Okay.
me pull it up, brother. Let me pull it up.
Get it fired up.
Okay, all right, here it is.
Okay.
You guys ready?
They're ready.
Strap in. Focus on the road if you're driving, but open up your damn ears. Mm-hmm. Quote unquote, my parents are having a lot of issues. Oh, also, this was written anonymously.
Yeah.
We're going to be calling her Tabitha.
Tabitha.
Tabs for short, maybe.
Tabs.
Tabby.
Tabby.
Tabernac.
Yeah, Tabernacle.
T-Nax.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
T-Nickel.
T-Nix.
Yeah.
All right. So T-Nix says, my parents are having a lot of issues. 10 years of bullshit. My dad is very verbally abusive and takes anything and everything out on my mom. I believe he has a lot of anxiety and is very depressed. All he does is drink and smoke and numbs himself from the time he wakes up to the time he goes to bed. She's talking about drinking alcohol and smoking weed. I don't think it's a crack thing. Okay, where was I? From the time he wakes up to the time he goes to bed, he's drinking and smoking weed, right? He doesn't ever really think about what is actually causing him pain. It's gotten worse within the past year because he recently sold his business and is also recently retired. He has been progressively drinking and smoking more since he has been retired. He also started smoking cigarettes. My mom is also not completely innocent in the sense that she allows it to happen and doesn't stick up for herself. She has been enabling his behavior for the past 10 years, and at this point, she's fed up. She doesn't know what to do, and so she continues to coexist with him because it's easier to deal with than to confront the actual issues. I am at a crossroad because I see both sides and want my dad to get help, but I'm also unsure of whether or not rehab is the solution. It is underlying issues that need to be resolved, and him being retired has only shed more light on the real problems. I feel as if I'm constantly stuck in the middle of their arguments, and I don't know how to ease or fix the tension. Your biggest fan, Tabitha.
Okay.
Thanks for writing in, Tabs.
Yeah, Tabs. First things first, thank you for putting it out there and being vulnerable. Takes a lot to write into the show. Nobody likes airing out their problems.
Or family problems.
Yeah, family stuff. Like, dude, listen, man, it's tough. So we really want to acknowledge you for putting it out there and reaching out, because as far as self-care goes, That is always step one, and it's the most important step.
It is.
Right? Let somebody in, you know?
We can't fix all of our problems.
No, dude. Like, life is a team. It's a team sport.
It is.
Right? Like, we have survived as a species as long as we have because of our ability to form tribes.
Yep.
And so we really want to acknowledge you, Tabs. We think you're awesome.
We do.
And we've got some
We
ideas.
know you're awesome, Tabs.
Yeah, we know you're awesome.
Yeah.
All
Thanks, Tabs. We're stoked.
Yeah, we're stoked. And thank you for the shout out too.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope, dude. So, boy, Dal, there's a lot of layers here, man.
There is. There's 3 layers.
Yeah, because we got mom, dad, Tabs.
Mm-hmm. Mom, Dad, and Tabs.
I think Tabs is who we'll focus on the most.
Of course. She's the one writing in.
Yeah, she took the steps, so we're going to get her back here.
Absolutely.
So I'll kind of just I'll throw some ideas out there,
Yeah.
and then we'll riff on it.
Totally.
But you know, much like episode 10
With Emma.
Yeah, with Emma. Which, guys, if you haven't listened to episode 10 yet, please do.
Yeah. Jump on over. Check it out.
It's a great episode. But that being said, I think step number 1 for Tabs is going to be setting boundaries.
Yeah.
Now,
with the parents.
yeah, and a lot of this may seem kind of redundant from episode 10, but we've got some slight variations here that I think are very important. So, you know, step 1 is setting boundaries because to me, and both Dallas and I are children of divorce.
Yep.
And fortunately for us both, all of our parents are awesome.
They are.
Right. And, you know, I think that says a lot and makes it a lot easier. Now, in that light, though, one thing that does happen, even with people that are still married, even with, you know, friends, is that you pit one against the other. You know, someone's always caught in the crossfire of, you know, mom says this, dad says that, and who are they saying it to? Not each other, but they're saying it to you.
Yeah.
Right. Now that is very unhealthy behavior, because they each parent, mom and dad, in this situation with Tabs, right? They each have a lifetime worth of good experiences and bad experiences, and they're carrying it around. I don't know if they're pursuing help of their own. We'll get to that.
We will.
But I think what's happening is that they need to release these frustrations and the anger and all the emotions. And because Tabs is seemingly a trustworthy listener and obviously emotionally invested in the situation, all this gets unloaded on her.
Yeah.
But whether you know it or not, Tabs, I'm sure you do, this shit takes a toll, man. There is such a thing as compassion fatigue. You can only care so much. When people are just piling all their stuff on you, it can really, really negatively affect you. So the first step is to set some boundaries. All right. Now, here's what this can look like in this exact situation. It looks like, you know, for me, what I think, Dal, and you jump in on this too, is, you know, having a 3-strike rule.
Yes.
Is really helpful in situations like this. And it looks something like this, okay? So you're out at dinner with dad, right? And you're having a nice time, and then dad's like, oh, God, your mother, blah, 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 right? At that point, you say, listen, Dad, I'm here hanging out with you. I want to have a good time. I want to have a nice dinner. Let's not talk about mom, right? If you've got stuff to say to mom, I want you to say it to mom, not me, okay? And then you're eating, you know, you're enjoying your burgers or whatever, and he brings it up again. And you say, Dad, I'm not doing this, all right? Now, if you bring it up a third time, I'm just going to leave, right? Now, that may seem harsh. It may seem cold, but at the end of the day, the reason people continue in negative behavior is because there are no external consequences to make them realize that that behavior is not okay.
Absolutely.
Right? So establish this 3-strike rule with each parent and hold firm to that, right? They need to know that if they're just going to talk shit about each other, they're not going to do it with you.
Yeah.
Right? That's my step number 1, Dal. What do you think?
I mean, I think the prerequisite before that is saying, I'm going to do that.
Oh, yeah. Very true.
So, I mean, it's like out of nowhere, like, whoa, dude, 3-strike rule. What the fuck, Dad?
Yeah, I'm out, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think the prerequisite before that is just having that exact conversation of like, hey, dude, mom, check it out. Dad, check it out.
Yep.
I can't be in the middle of your guys' problem. Your problem is with mom. Mom, your problem is with dad. None of those problems start or end with me.
Right.
So, in order for us to all work on it, you need to work on your problems with mom. Mom needs to work on her problems with dad.
Yep.
I don't see where I fit in with that.
Yep.
I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I am your daughter. I love you both for who you are, right? However you want to have that conversation, but that sort of conversation needs to happen.
Yep.
And if you want to pick our brain as far as maybe like a healthy dialogue on how to exactly do that, you can. But I have faith that you're able to deliver that message competently for sure.
And we'll send you the ebook on how to have a difficult conversation.
Right. Absolutely. You follow those steps, take them both out somewhere nice, have that conversation, right? But set the boundary. And when you set the boundary, make sure you're coming from a place of how you feel, your emotions, and they're your boundaries, not theirs.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
You can't talk about mom. Right. That's not your boundary. Your boundary is, I don't want to be around you berating mom.
Yep.
I don't want to this. I can't this. I would prefer if this didn't happen.
I statements are huge right now.
So stick with your I statements. Tell them how you feel. You can't argue emotions. And just stay fucking true to those things. And Jeremy talked about the application, right? And if you can stay true to that, and they know that, you aren't the space to talk about mom, and dad the same thing, vice versa. That's a healthy start.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're not being put in the middle.
Right.
And you're actually being like causative and taking action of not being put into the middle
Exactly.
of these situations.
Yep.
That's your responsibility.
Yeah, it is. And it's so important that you stay firm on these boundaries once you set them, because one thing that we see chronically is boundaries set but not enforced.
Totally.
Right. And that does more harm
Then good.
than not even setting the boundaries in the first place.
Right.
Because that shows the other person that you're weak on the boundaries and that you'll go back on whatever you say anytime. So they then continue to take advantage of that.
And it makes it harder to reset them.
Exactly, because they're not going to take you serious. Right. So setting that boundary can be from a place of compassion.
Absolutely.
But what we want you to do is temper your compassion with discipline. So there is such a thing as firm compassion.
Absolutely.
I fucking love you, dude. But if you're going to do that, I'm not going to be here for it. Right? That is firm compassion.
Totally.
And so we really want you to set those boundaries. The other thing, kind of on that note, I guess like step 2 of this is, just kind of looking at the anatomy of communication. I think that, a lot of times people get it kind of twisted and they think that communication is a right, but it's actually a privilege. Right. And that's something that we're super big on. And what I mean by that is that nobody has the right to communicate with me, right? Just because somebody can communicate with me doesn't mean it's their right to do so.
Right. Doesn't make them qualified.
No, it is a privilege, right? If you want to enter into a dialogue with me, that is a privilege that I'm granting you. And a lot of times, especially in familial relationships, especially like with a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a husband or wife, brother, sister, friend, whatever, when the relationship has gone on for a while, it can be hard to remember that just because you can talk to me doesn't mean it's your right to talk to me.
Absolutely.
Right? And so I think it's super important for you to know that if you don't want that kind of communication, there is nothing that says that you have to get it. Right?
Absolutely.
And so when it comes to setting those boundaries and when it comes to enforcing those boundaries, if your dad is saying some shit to your mom that's not okay, and then he says some shit to you that's not okay, you can say, listen, I am not going to be talked to like that. I refuse your communication, right? And you don't have to say it like so rigid, like, I refuse your communication, like say it however you will, but you should just know internally for your own narrative. If you start feeling like you're second guessing your boundaries or like, oh man, I should hear him out. Why? Like question, why should you? Why do you feel required or obligated? It's not your role in the family. You're not the family therapist, right? You're their kid. It's not fair for them to dump this shit on you. Right. So just remember that if in times of, if you're feeling ambiguous or you're feeling like kind of shaky on it, just remember, if somebody wants to talk to you, that is a privilege that you are granting them.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well said.
Thanks.
Yeah,
man.
I think that's good. I think that's good as far as perspective. And then also like another thing that I was thinking of too is like, I guess like knowing that a lot of times, right, like with the episode with Emma, right, it was like complete role reversal. It was like the parents having problems and not wanting to put it onto the children.
Yeah.
Now it's like a child being involved with the parental problems, you know? And it's like, I think as we get older, we slowly start to learn that like our parents are human beings and not superheroes.
Totally.
Right. And they're just a person just like you and me are, just like Tabs is.
Yep.
Right. And everyone has their problems and everyone has their struggles. And to realize that is definitely healthy, right? As she's seeing now, like, yeah, my parents have problems. My dad drinks and smokes and is verbally abusive. My mom lets it happen, you know? And to not like resent them for being human.
Totally.
You know, and not take it like a personal attack for them navigating life just as you are, just as I am, just as Jeremy is.
Yeah.
So I think that's a healthy perspective to take.
Yeah.
And going even further into that is kind of like, you know, like you said, right? Tabs is not the family therapist. Right. So if you do have compassion and you do care about your parents, they should get help, just like you mentioned in the email, right?
Yeah.
Dad might need to go to rehab. Mom might need to be more firm in her own boundaries. Mom might need marriage family therapists, so might dad, right? And none of those actual helpful, viable solutions are involved with Tabs.
No, not
like
at
you
all.
can't deliver those services.
No.
So you saying, hey, I can't deliver these services and pointing them into the right direction
Yep.
is the most compassionate thing you can do.
100%, man.
Sitting there being stuck in the middle, offering no help, that's not helping them, it's not helping you, is not helpful.
Right. Yeah, and that's step 4 right there.
Step 4, dude.
Step 4 is literally point them in the direction of resource that will
Of real
actually
help.
provide help.
Totally.
Right? Because like Tabitha can't be expected to bring
solve.
resolve to these situations because she didn't create the problem in the first place, right? Now, obviously, like verbal abuse, emotional abuse, these things are this is no joke, dude. And if your mom is in a situation where you know, her mental health, her emotional health, her physical health, if these things are in jeopardy, I think that's a bigger conversation for your mom, which we'd be happy to discuss with her at some point, you know, off the air or whatever. But again, the gravity of these problems, the last person expected to deal with them and resolve them is Tabs, right? So that's definitely it. Now, I think that providing resources for dad,
Huge.
you know, that's huge because it's like, look, man, a lot of people have this negative connotation on what rehab is, right? And obviously, we could advocate for rehab all day. We fucking work at one. But really, there are so many services that he could do while maintaining his quote unquote like day to day.
Yeah.
Right.
Retired day to day.
Yeah, the retired day to day, which is
Drinking and smoking.
Yeah, as far as I understand,
playing
is
golf.
He's getting fucked up all day, right?
Yeah.
But the most responsibility you should assume in this situation is trying to provide professional help
Yes.
to both parents, right?
Leading them to the water and hoping they drink.
Exactly, right? And so
While protecting your own sanity.
Yep, exactly. And so I think for mom, getting into therapy is numero uno, dude. She needs to see a professional. There are so many that specialize in this exact situation. She needs to get to a professional right now.
Absolutely.
And you know, if you need help with that stuff, let us know. We can point you in the right direction. The easiest way to do it is go to psychologytoday.com and plug in your zip code, and then you can literally set a filter based on specialty, and you'll find 100 licensed marriage and family therapists that specialize in abusive relationships, addicted
Substance
spouse,
abuse,
you know, like you can literally narrow it down like that. They work with insurance, most of them. They do sliding scale, all these things. There's no reason it can't happen.
Yeah, it's almost too easy. It's like Craigslist for therapy.
Exactly.
And self-help.
Yeah, and I think the same goes for dad, but with also doing an outpatient program, doing a day program, going to meetings, whatever it is. The last thing we want is for like I think about it. You know, I think about it. Now, recognizing there's a problem is step number 1. That's huge for dad. But also, like, the only responsibility you have is continuing to push him to that goal of ultimately getting help.
Yeah.
Right. But as far as like meddling in the relationship and all that shit, Tabs, that's not your bag. But your bag can be like, hey, I think you need help. I love you. I want you to get help. Here's some ideas. Right. And if you need more on that, let us know. We can literally provide you wherever you live, wherever you are. We got
you
programs.
covered.
We got you.
Exactly.
But I think the last step for Tabs is ultimately the most important one, and that's her own self-care.
Absolutely.
Right? Like we talked with Emma on episode 10, you have to put yourself first, right? There's so many, these like motivational speakers and gurus and all that shit, and they're all talking about, the analogy when you're on a plane, you put your mask on first. And as repetitive as that may seem,
it's still fucking true.
It's the truth, dude.
Yeah.
Right? So
still a banger.
If you want to show up for your family, if you want to show up for your kids, you want to show up for your parents, you want to show up for your friends, you have to show up for you first, right? So, Dal, what could Tabs do to kind of boost her self-care right now?
Well, I mean, I think for start, we always hit, kind of the trifecta of mental, spiritual, physical, right? So obviously there's the gym and there's yoga and there's support groups and there's getting with your tribe, being around the people that support you, I actually know Tabs personally, so I know her friends, right? And I know she's got really good friends and supportive friends, right? And I know she's very educated and intelligent, right? So I would suggest to get around those people. I would suggest to be more social and hang out with the people that make you feel good. Go do the things that make you feel good as well.
Absolutely.
Exercising being one of them, meditating, right? A little self-exploration, doing something for you that you wouldn't normally do.
I love that.
Whether that's, I don't want to like promote consumerism, like a shopping spree, but maybe like a spa day with a good girlfriend, or getting up to the mountains or getting to the beach, right? Taking a little break, rewarding yourself, and checking in to seeing how Tabs is doing.
Exactly.
Right, and then going from there.
Yeah.
Right? If you're feeling lonely, deal with it. If you're feeling this, deal with that, right? But give yourself time to explore and see what's going on, right? Maybe you are upset. Maybe you are stressed. Maybe you are tense,
Right.
Make sure you have the right tools, skills, techniques, etc., outlets to deal with those emotions.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. I think, sometimes like when I'm counseling people on breakups, right? Which I can't wait for.
Dude,
I don't want to say
that's like almost your forte.
It is, dude. It really is, man. Like I don't want to say like I can't wait for like one of our audience members to break up, but I can't wait for that email, right? Because breakups are such a emotionally powerful thing. But generally what I advise in breakups, there's a long list, right? But one of the things, and I think the best thing to shift perspective is, you're in this unique position, right? Where if you find yourself in a troublesome spot, right? You got family problems, you got school problems, you got health problems, right? It kind of shakes you a little bit. It shakes you to the fact that, sometimes there's turbulence in the plane, right? But without the turbulence, you don't appreciate the smooth air.
Right.
Like when you get on a flight and there's not a single bump from A to B, oh my God, it's the best flight in the world, right?
Yep.
But the turbulence is what kind of shakes you a little bit, and you go, damn, dude, like I need to do something. I need to do more than I'm doing. And so for Tabs in this situation with your self-care, it's like, we want you to get into CrossFit, yoga, lifting weights, running, all that stuff that we prescribe on a pretty frequent basis. But look at it like this, Tabs. You have assumed this burden for long enough, right? You're finally getting some control of the situation. You're telling mom to get help. You're telling dad to get help. How do I help me? Literally sit there with a pen and a pad of paper, right? And list out all this shit that you've wanted to do for a long time, but you haven't gotten around to it, right? And start checking off each one.
Getting around to it.
Yeah, just get around to it. Make the time. Call your friends. Dal's saying you got a great network. Take advantage of that. Call a buddy and say, "Hey, man, I've never done this, and I want to go do it. You want to get after it with me?
Skydiving, fuck it,
dude. And I mean it. Like so many people hear this stuff and then never do a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
And then they're surprised 6 months later when they feel the same.
Dude,
And so, for me personally, it takes a lot of effort for me to push myself outside of my normal routine.
Or to go up that plateau.
Exactly. Like when I'm plateaued at the gym, it's hard for me to be like, I got to go harder somehow.
Dude, it takes substantial change. It's not just a thought.
No.
You can't just think your way out of a plateau.
Exactly.
It's direct action.
And it's hard. And we get that. But we're also not going to be like soft about it, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like we don't really care that it's hard.
Yeah.
We want you to get the right outcome, Tabs, right? So make that list. I'm serious. I want to see the list, right? And I want to see check marks. You don't have to hit them all, right? But do enough to where you're like, damn, dude, I'm doing more than I ever have. And that is self-care, right? I could tell someone, oh, go meditate for 10 minutes, right? The 10 minutes is over. They never meditate again. And they're like, Jeremy, I'm fucking miserable. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's like Dow says, right? You can't lift weights for one day and expect to drop 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Right? This is a day in, day out. This is dedication and discipline. And we want to see you win with yourself, right?
Absolutely.
So I feel like if you do those steps, right, and we'll put them in an email to you just in case you need it written down, But I think if you do those things, it'll really ground the situation. And in any kind of family discord, it's definitely not going to hurt when each person tries a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Totally. That's pretty much what we're prescribing.
Yeah.
Right? Is you do more, she does more, dad does more, and we'll fucking get the results that you desire, mom desires, and dad desires.
That's it, man. And listen, like if this doesn't resolve in 6 months, that's okay. Right? I mean, this shit rarely does resolve. This is not a 2-week Band-Aid, man. This is a long-term game. And we'll be in your corner the whole way through.
Absolutely.
Right. So if, a month down the line, things are getting better, let us know. If a month down the line they're worse, let us know.
Absolutely.
Right? This is, it's not a short game. This is a long game.
Totally. And like, kind of like you're saying, right, as far as the long game goes, our services, our help, our desire to want to be part of the solution, not the problem, is a long game too. Your dad wants to go to treatment, let us know. We'll help find the right place.
Right.
He shuts down, doesn't want to communicate, let us know.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we're here to do that. We want to help you through this process. And we understand that a 45-minute spiel from me and Jerem is just the starting point.
Totally. Yeah, and that goes for every audience member.
Yeah.
We're trying to be really good with follow-up. And we're trying to get our response time down. That's me projecting. I'm trying to get faster at it. We're really, really serious about continuing. Like, just because you write the show, we do your episode, we don't want that to be it.
Not at all.
Right? Because like Dow said, man, it takes more than a podcast, but this is the vessel to step one of improving what the situation may be.
Dude, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of one more thing too, as far as tabs goes, right?
Throw it out
is
there.
like, this is definitely me assuming, but it seems that, kind of like she said with the mom, right? Where the mom has made maybe the verbal abuse okay, maybe the drinking, the smoking okay, but she's made being in the middle okay as well.
For
right?
sure.
Like, that has, to some degree, and dude, tabs, if I'm just like totally off the board here and totally missing the boat, you can tell me that too. I've been wrong before and I'll be wrong again a lot more.
Yeah.
But it feels like you've made that a habit of at least being okay, or not saying anything, of being in the middle, right? To some degree, you have to participate too.
Yeah.
Right. So being able to change that habit, right? And not only that, once you set the boundaries, okay, cool. But you have to do your part too, of not habitually trying to get into the middle or trying to figure out what's going on, right? If dad can't talk to you about mom, you shouldn't talk to dad about mom either.
Right.
Right. You shouldn't be that third wheel. Oh, mom's in Cancun chilling with some buddies. And, right. Like, do your part to not instigate, to not stir the pot. I'm not saying you are doing this.
Sure.
But if you are, be conscious enough to know, right?
Yeah.
That, like, it goes both ways.
Right.
And you can't be the devil's advocate.
No, absolutely. And I think, like with Emma and like with, previous episodes, a bunch of us, or I mean, a bunch of us, right? Like in life, we tend to, fall into what's kind of routine, I guess you could say. And we're not trying, we know that, in an abusive relationship, why would someone stay with them if they could just leave? It's not that simple, right? It never is. There's so many complexities with trauma and PTSD and toxic shame and self-worth, right? It is such a multi-layered situation. But with tabs, what Dow's saying, whether it applies directly or not, I think it's important that, I've been in bad relationships, right? Where all my friends are like, Jeremy, dude, what are you doing with this girl? Right? And I stay. And they, they're like, dude, why'd you stay? Why'd you stay? I don't know the answer to that question. If I did, I probably wouldn't have.
Right.
Right. All I know is that my emotional and mental capacity at the time, that was what the right thing was to me at the time. And so for tabs, even if you're like, that's not me. Okay, cool. right? But there are so many people that are in situations and they know they shouldn't be. And I don't want them like feeling bad. But what Dow's saying, which is super important, is that you have to draw a line for yourself too, right? You have to tell yourself like you just have to kind of own the responsibility, which gives you power over the situation.
Yeah.
And it's a hard pill to swallow, right? It sucks like recognizing like, damn, dude, I am part of this, right? Because of my choices. But once you make that realization, be gentle with yourself, be nice to yourself, but also be firm with yourself. Have the discipline to set those boundaries, like Dow said, and maintain those boundaries and not contribute to the problem too.
Dude, absolutely.
Right.
I can't remember. There's so. We'll cut that out. That was a fat fucking stammer.
I'm
Maybe
leaving
we
it.
don't. You're leaving it. I knew it.
Yeah.
I was like, I should just not acknowledge it.
I can't be the only guy on the show stammering, Dow.
Yeah, dude, that's true. We both stammer, dude. Fuck it.
Yeah.
But I can think of so many times where people set boundaries, like, you don't get to call me and blah blah blah, and then they're fucking texting and they're calling, right? And like, the last thing I'm trying to say to Tabs is that she's dropping the ball.
Totally.
But if we are going to do this and do it right, we got to be responsible. And
That's
we got to
it.
see our part, like
That's
you're
it.
saying.
That's it, man.
You know, and I've seen it happen too many times to it'd be a disservice to just kind of cruise over it and not
Absolutely.
be like, you know, you have no fault in this at all. And
Right.
you've never done anything wrong, or
Yeah,
you've never participated in the third wheeling of your parents.
For sure.
So
no, it's a great point, dude. I'm glad you brought it up because it's super important.
yeah. So hopefully there's something there to take away from.
Yeah,
you know?
Tabs, I hope this helps, man. I mean,
I do too.
you know, let us know. Obviously, follow up with us. And in closing, guys, we want to remind you that September is September of Service.
It is.
All right, we're getting some vids, we're getting some pics. I'm into it. You know, Dal and I, we're getting back on the posting.
We are.
We're trying to give you guys some good stuff on the Instagram. We got our email coming out soon. If you haven't subscribed,
Fire Blast.
Yeah, the Fire Blast, man. If you're not subscribed yet, please go to our website and get subscribed so that you always get you know, valuable Betterment Bros content in your inbox. And also, you know, give us some reviews, man. I really want to give you free Amazon stuff. I
Let
really
us
want
give it to you.
Yeah, just let me.
But you
do
gotta
it.
kind of earn it too.
Yeah,
you know?
you don't even got to try that hard. Like you literally go, oh yeah, I know Jeremy and Dallas for 5 years, man. This podcast is awesome. Boom, you're entered.
Yeah.
Right.
You now have 100% chance of winning a fucking
Free Amazon
goddamn
shit.
Amazon Fire Stick or whatever it is.
Yeah, Fire 7.
Fire 7. I don't even know what that is.
It's a tablet, dude.
What's the Fire 6?
You know, I don't know if there was a Fire 6.
Just came out. Fire 7.
Fire 7, man. It's the 7th gen
Okay.
of the tablet. But they're pretty neat, man. They zip, they zoom.
There we go. And it could be yours.
It could be yours, man.
Come to a mailbox near you.
And the reason we're asking for reviews, you guys, is because, you know, even though the show is expanding, we're really trying to reach a lot of people. I know there's so many people out there. You know, we're really looking at young people, man, because that is primarily who we're counseling. But we counsel all ages.
All walks.
All right. But the more reviews we get, right, tells iTunes that we're legit, which we are.
Absolutely.
And so it helps us get out there more, which helps more people. So
Which is service work.
it is, man. And so for September of Service, right, if you want to have an impact on more than just one person, right, like Dal and I don't want the reviews for our egos, right? Those are big enough already. All right. We want these to give reputation to the show so that other people who are struggling
Well, write in
that
and
know
open
that
up
we're legit,
and be
man.
vulnerable and get help.
Yeah. So hook it up, help us out. We'll send you some free shit. And don't forget your September of Service, and don't forget your hashtag 2-minute takeaways. All right.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Dude, right on.
Yeah. So that being said, I guess we'll sign off.
Yeah.
We want
why
you guys
not?
to have a really great weekend. Dal, good job on your 5 years, bro.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
That's huge, man. And next week we'll come at you guys with some more fire.
That's it.
Until then, I'm Jeremy Miller.
I'm Dallas Terrell.
Take it easy.